Bensuda Joyce Otieno. Homa Bay Town, George Peter Kaluma. Igembe Central, Daniel Kili Karido. Igembe North, Taitumu Munaiba Julius. Igembe South, John Paul Mwirigi. Ijara, Abdi Ali. Ikolomani, Bernard Shinali Masaka. Yes. Isiolo County, Mumina Bonaya. Isiolo North, Joseph Samal. Isiolo South, Tubi Bidu Mohammed. Tubi Bidu Mohammed. Jomvu Badibadi Twalib. Jomvu Badibadi Twalib. Juja Koimbori George. Juja Koimbori George. Kabete Gidua wa Mashukuru. Kabondo Kasipul Ivo Bara. Kabuchai Joseph Kalasinga. Kabuchai Joseph Kalasinga. Kacheliba Lote Titus. Kacheliba Lote Titus. Kaiti Joshua Kimilu. Kaiti Joshua Kimilu. Kajiado County Lea Sankaire. Kajiado Central Elijah Memusi. Kajiado East Kakuta Maimai. Kajiado North Ngogoyo Onesmus. Kajiado South Parashina Samuel Sakimba. Kajiado South Parashina Samuel Sakimba. Kajiado West Sunkuya George. Kakamega County Elsie Muhanda. Kaloleni Paul Katana. Kamukonji Abdi Yusuf. Kandara Njogona Chege. Kandui John Makali. Kangema Peter Kihongi. Kagundo Fabian Chule. Kapenguria Samuel Moroto. Kapsaret Oscar Sudi. Karachuonyo Andrew Okwome. Kasarani Karauri Ronald. Kasipul Charles Were. Kadhiani Robert Mbui. Keio North Adams Kipsanai. Keio South Gideon Kimayo. Kericho County Beatrice Kemei. Kethes Julius Ruto Kipleting. Wisero Christopher Aseka Wangaya. Kiamba John Jogona Kawanjiko. Kiambu John Machua. Kiambu County Ann Wamuratha. Kibra Peter Orero. Kibwezi East Jessica Mbalu. Kibwezi West Mwengi Ecomas Mutuse. Kieni Njoroge Wainaina. Kigumo Joseph Munyoro. Kiharu Samson Dindi Nyoro. Kikuyu Kimani Ichungwa.
Kilgoris Sunkuli Julius Lekaken. Kilifi Mwanyanje Gertrude Mbeyu. Kilifi North Baya Owenya. Kilifi South Kiti Richard Ken Chonga. Kilome Thaddeus Kithuan Zambia. Kimilili Mutua Didmas Wekesa Baraza. Kiminini Bisau Morris Kakai. Kinango Rai Samuel Gonzi. Kinangop Tuku Zakari Kwenya. Kipipiri Wanjiko Mohia. I repeat, Tuku Zakari Kwenya. Thank you. Kipipiri Wanjiko Mohia. Kipkelion East Joseph Kimutai Cherorot. Kipkelion West Hilary Kiplangat Koske. Kirinyaga Jane Jerry Maina. Kirinyaga Central Joseph Gashoki Getari. Kisauni Rashid Juma Bedzimba. Kisii Donya Doris Avuri. Okay. Kisumu Ruth Odiambo Odinga Busia. Kisumu Central Joshua Odongo Oron. Kisumu East Shakil Ahmed Shabir Ahmed. Kisumu West Rosa Akinyi Buyu. Kitui Irene Mudhoni Kasalu. Kitui Central Makali Benson Mulu. Kitui East Nimrod Biduka Mbai. Kitui Rural David Mwalika Mboni. Kitui South Rachel Kaki Nyamai. Kitui West Edith Vethi Nyenze. Kitui Chache North Nyakundi Jafeth Mokaya. Kitutu Chache South Anthony Kibagendi. Kitutu Masaba Clive Ombane Gisairo. Konoin Brighton Leonard Yegon. Kureso North Mutai Alfred Kibrono. Kureso South
Please repeat.
Can I repeat? Kureso North Mutai Alfred Kibrono. Thank you. Kureso South Joseph Kikoske Tanui. Kuria East Maisori Marwa Kitayama Kemero.
Yes.
Kuria West Matthias Nyamabe Robi. Kwale Fatuma Hamisi Masito. Kwanza Ferdinand Kevin Wanyonyi. Lafe Abdirahman Mohammed Abdi. Lagdera Abdikadir Hussein Muhammad. Laikipia Jane Wangeshi Kagiri. Laikipia East Festus Mwangi Kionjori. Laikipia North Sarah Paulata Korere. Laikipia West Stephen Washira Karani. Laisamis Joseph Lekuton. Lamu Monica Mudhoni Marufu. Lamu East Ruwaida Mohamed Obo. Lamu West Mudamas Stanley Moirori. Langata Felix Odiwor Kode. Lari Joseph Buruka Hangara. Likoni Mishi Juma Hamisi Mboko. Likuyani Innocent Maino Mugabe. Likuyani. Okay. Limuru John Keragu Chege. Okay. Loima Protas Ewesit Akuja. Luanda Dick Maungu Oyugi. Lugari, yeah, he did. Yeah, he said yes. Okay. Okay. So do we repeat?
Yes.
Dick Maungu Oyugi. Luanda, okay. Nabi Nabwera Daraja, Lugari. Okay. Lunga Lunga, Mangale Munga Chiforomondo. Lurambi, Titus Hamala Mukwana. Maara, Jafet, yeah, Lurambi, Titus Hamala Mukwana. Okay. Jafet Miriti Kareke Mbuki, Maara. Kamene Joyce Machakos. Machakos Town, Caleb Mutiso Mule. Okay. Makadara, George Aladwa Omwera.
Yes, Aladwa.
Makueni, Susan Ndunge Kiamba. Makueni, Rose Museo Mumo. Malava, Moses Malulu Injendi. Malindi, Amina Laura Mnyazi. Mandera North, Bashir Sheikh Abdullahi.
Yes, we have.
Mandera, Sheikh Khair Kasim. Mandera East, Hussein Waitan Muhammad Abdirahman. Okay. Mandera South, Abdul Ibrahim Haro. Mandera West, Adan Haji Yusuf. Manyata, John Gitonga Mwaniki Mukunji. Maragwa, Mary wa Maua Waidera Njoroge. Okay. Marakwet East, David Kangogo Bowen. Okay.
Maragua.
Okay.
Order. Order, members. Order. Member for Kisumu. Order. 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 Order, order. Rosabuyu. Order. Wamaoa vote. Call Wamaoa.
Okay. I will move to Marakwet West. Timothy Kipchumba Toroitich. I will repeat, Timothy Kipchumba Toroitich.
Order, Rosabu, you are out of order. Order. Obawa, just sit down. Order. Go on, Kiroi.
Timothy Kipchumba Toroitich, Marakwet West. Marsabit, wako Naomi Jilo. Okay, I repeat, Marakwet West.
Order, Lillian Kogo. Order. Lillian. Order. Lillian Kogo, take your seat. Take your seat. Order. Go on.
Marakwet East, David Kangogo Bowen. Thank you. Marakwet West, Timothy Kipchumba Toroitich. Marsabit, Naomi Jilo Wako.
Order, Lillian Kogo. Order.
Masinga, Joshua Mbidi Mutua Malio. Matayos Odanga Geoffrey Makoha. Madare Olwoch Anthony Tom. Madioa Gishuki Edwin Mugo. Madira Kahugu Eric Mwangi. Madioya Edwin Mugo Gishuki.
Madioya is there, yes.
Okay. Madira Eric Mwangi Kahugu. Thank you. Matuga Kasim Sawa Tandaza. Matungu Peter Oscar Nabulindo. Matungulu Stephen Mutinda Mule. Mavoko Patrick Makao Kingola. Mbere North Geoffrey Kariuki Kiringa. Mbere South Bernard Muriuki Nebat. Mboni Nzioka Erastus Kevasu. Mboni Nzioka Erastus Kevasu. Okay. Meru Elizabeth Karambu Kailemia. Karambu Kailemia Meru. Migori Muhammad Fatuma Zainab. Mogotio Ruben Kiborek. Moiben Phyllis Chepkemo Barto. Molo Francis Kuria Kemani. Mombasa Zamzam Muhammad Chimba. Mosop Abraham Kipsang Kirwa. Moyale Guyo Wako Jalesa. Msambweni Salim Faisal Bader. Msambweni Salim Faisal Bader. Mount Elgon Fred Kapondi Chesebe. Muhoroni James Onyango Oyo. Mukurweini Kagusha John Philip Geshohi. Mumias East Peter Kalerwa Salasia. Mumias West Johnson Manya Naika. Muranga Betty Njeri Maina. Mvita Mohamed Sud Machele. Mwala Musau Vincent Musioka. Mwatate Peter Mbogo Shake. Mwea Mary Maingi. Mwingi Central Gideon Mutemi Muliungi. Mwingi North Paul Musimi Nzengu. Mwingi West Charles Ngusi Anguna. Nairobi City Esther Mudhoni Pasaris. Naivasha Jane Wanjiru Njeri Kihara. Nakuru Liza Chepkori Chelule. Nakuru Town East David Gikaria. Nakuru Town West Samuel Arama. Nambale Mulanya Geoffrey Ekesa. Nambale Mulanya Geoffrey Ekesa. Nandi Cynthia Chepkoske Muge. Nandi Hills Bernard Kibor Kitur. Narok Rebecca Nonaishi Tonke. Narok East Lemanken Aramat. Narok North Agnes Mantaine Pareyo. Narok South Olentutu Kitilai. Okay. Narok West Gabriel Koshal Tongoyo. Navaholo Emmanuel Wangwe. Ndaragwa George Gashagwa. Ndiwa Martin Peters Owino.
I vote yes.
Ndia George Masharia Kariuki. Njoro Charity Katambi Chepkwany. North Hor Ade Wario Guyo. North Imenti Rahim Dawood Abdul. North Mogrango Joash Nyamache Nyamoko. Nyakach Owor Joshua Aduma Owor. Nyakach. Nyali Muhammad Ali. Nyamira Jerusha Momanyi Mongina. Nyandarua Faith Waire Mogitau. Nyando Okelo Jared Odoyo. Jared Okelo Odoyo. Nyaribari Chache. Etari amevote. Nyaribari Chache Janda Zahir. Nyaribari Masaba Daniel Ogwoka Manduku. Nyatike Tombo ya Odege. Nyeri Rahab Mokami Washira. Nyeri Town Duncan Maina Madenge. Oljororok Michael Mwangi Mushira. Olkalau David Juguna Kiaraho. Odaya Michael Wambogo Wainaina. Pokot South David Losiakao Kosing. Rabai Mupe Anthony Kenga. Rangwe Lilian Achiengogo. Rarieda Paul Rangwe Gogo Lilian Achien. Thank you. Rarieda Paul Otienda Molo. Rongai Paul Kibet Chebor. Rongo Paul Abuor. Roy Sambu. Okay. Roy Sambu, Augustine Kamande Mwafrika. Ruaraka, Francis Kajwang Tom Joseph. Roido, Kiengara Simon Nganga. Runyenjes, Eric Muchangi Njiru Karemba. Sabatia, Sloya Clement Logova. Saboti, Kaleba Misi Luyai. Saku, Dido Ali Raso. Samburu, Pauline Lenguris. Samburu East, Jackson Lekumontare Lentoijoni. Samburu North, Dominic Eli Letipila. Samburu West, Josephine Naisula Lesuda. Seme James Wamburanyikal. Shinyalu Frederick Lusuli Kana. Siaya Christine Ombako Dwor. Sigor Peter Lochakapong. Sigowet Soin Justice Kipsang Kemei. Sirisia John Walukekoi. Sotik Francis Kipiagon Arab Sige. Saudi Menti Dr. Shadrach Mwiti Idenji. South Mogirango Silvanas Osoro Nyego. Soy David Kiplagat. Starehe Mwago Amos Maina. Suba North Millie Grace Akoto Diambo. Suba South Karoli Omondi. Subukia Samuel Kinudia Gashobe. Suna East Muhammad Junet Sheikh Nu. Suna West Peter Francis Masara. Okay. Taita Taveta Lydia Haika Mnene Mizige. Okay. Tana River Amina Dika Abdullahi. Tarbaj Hussein Abdi Bare. Taveta John Okano Bwire. Teso North Edward Kaunya Oku. Yes. Teso South Mary Emase Otucho. Tetu Geoffrey Wandeto Mwangi. Tharaka George Getonga Murugara. Tharakanithi Susan Ngugenduyo. Thika Town Alice Wamboi Nganga. Tiati William Kamket Kasait. Tigania East Lawrence Puruaburi. Tigania West John Kanywidia Mutunga. Tinderet Julius Melik Biwot. Tongaren John Murumba Chikati. Transoia Lilian Chebet Siyoy. Tarbo Janet Chepkemboy Sitiene. Turkana Cecilia Asinyen Nyetit. Turkana Central Joseph Namuar Emate. Turkana East Nicholas Ngikor Gikolong. Turkana North Paul Ekwom Nabuin. Turkana South John Ariko Namoit. Turkana West Daniel Epuyo Nanok. Wasingishu Gladys Chepkoskei Boss. Ugenya David Oumochieng. Uriri Mark Ogola Nyamita. Vihiga Kevai Ernest Ogesi Kagesi. Vihiga Beatrice Kahai Adagala. Voi Hamis Chome Abdi. Wajir Fatuma Abdi Jeho. Wajir East Aden Dawood Mohammed. Wajir North Ibrahim Abdi Sane. Wajir South Mohammed Aden Ado. Wajir West Yusuf Mohammed Farah. Webuye East Martin Pepela Wanyonyi. Webuye West Daniel Wanyamasitati. West Mogrango Stephen Mogaka. West Pokot Rael Chepkemoy Kasiwai. Westlands Timothy Wanyonyi Wetangula. Wundanyi Danson Mwashako Makuona. Yata Robert Ngui Basil. Ali Abdisirat Khalif. Sabina Wanjiru Chege. Joseph Hamis Sidena. Suleka Hulbale Harun. Dorothy Mudoni Ikiara. Jackson Kipkemoy Koske. Jackson Kipkemoy Koske. Irene Nyakerario Mayaka. Umulher Harun Muhammad. Teresia Wanjiro Mwangi. Abubakar Ahmed Talib. Mara. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay.
And Mara.
Mara Jafet Miriti Kareke Mbuki. Okay, we are done. Yeah.
Order members, is there any member who has order Kiborek? Order. Is there any member who has not had his or her name? Honorable members, is there any member?
Yes.
Yes.
Joseph Wainaina Iraya. $340. Joseph Hamisi Dana.
There is a member at the back there, the nominated member.
No,
He's voted.
Okay. Honorable members. Order, honorable members. Is there any member who has not been called out on the roll call? No member.
Could the Honorable Member for Loima, Honorable Protas Ewesit Akuja, come to the front, please? Thank you.
Good afternoon. The members of Parliament have been voting for the nomination of Professor Kithure Kindiki to fill the vacancy in the Deputy President's office. This voting by roll call was necessitated by the failure of the electronic system, and that roll call has been taken, and tallying of the votes is currently underway. So in a couple of moments we will get the result of the exercise that has been taking place, but just to familiarize with the standing orders, on voting and divisions. Standing Order 73, roll call voting. When the Speaker directs a roll call voting to be taken, the division bell shall be rung for 10 minutes. The names of one teller for the ayes and one teller for the nays shall be submitted to the Speaker, and the Speaker shall direct the tellers to take seats at a designated place, which we saw a couple of minutes ago. At the end of 10 minutes, the Speaker shall direct the doors to be locked and the bar drawn, and no member shall thereafter enter or leave the House until the roll call vote has been taken. When the doors have been locked and the bar drawn and the names of the tellers have been announced, the Speaker shall put the question again and direct the clerk to call out the names of members in alphabetical order in the presence of the tellers. When called out, each member shall thereupon rise in his or her place and declare assent or dissent to the question in the following manner: I vote yes, or I vote no, or I abstain, or use appropriate Kenya Sign Language. That is according to Standing Order 73 of the National Assembly. After the clerk has read the last name in the division list, the tellers shall present the result of the roll call vote to the Speaker, who shall thereupon announce the result of the vote to the House. So we are waiting for that process to conclude. On your screen, you can see there's that activity taking place. The tellers are standing to the left of the screen. Just in front of the Speaker is the Member of Parliament for Endebess, Honorable Dr. Robert Bukose, and the Member of Parliament for Ndewa constituency there on your screen, Honorable Owino, who is also a teller, and they are being assisted by the clerks. Standing Order 71 of the National Assembly talks about technical failure, confusion or error occurring, which we did see some minutes ago. In the event of a technical failure, confusion or error occurring in the course of voting, which in the opinion of the Speaker cannot otherwise be corrected, the Speaker may direct the House to another round of electronic voting or proceed to a roll call voting. And all that we have seen today during this historic exercise for the National Assembly, where they are considering the nomination of Professor Kithure Kindiki, EGH, to fill the vacancy in the Deputy President's office. The professor currently serves as the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, a role he has held since October 2022. But there was a brief moment between July 11th, 2024 and August 8th, 2024, when His Excellency the President dissolved his cabinet. But the former senator for Tharaka Nithi County was reappointed to the very docket that he had served, and is currently serving the country in that capacity as the Cabinet Secretary for Interior. We will see the decision that is taken by the National Assembly this afternoon.
Order, honorable members, order. Members, take your seats. Take your seats. Take your seats. Jane Kagiri, take your seats. Take your seats, members. Karemba, take your seats. Ruku. Take your seats. Take your seats.
So which one are we using?
Tell us, go to the bar. Tell us, approach the dispatch table now. Who is your team leader, Bukose?
Honorable Speaker, on the voting, abstentions 0, nays 0, ayes 236.
You have signed to the... Order, honorable members. Order. Order. Who is that member? Hillary. Take your seat. Honorable members, the vote on the nomination of Professor Kithure Kindiki to fill the vacancy in the office of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya is as follows. Abstentions, nil. Noes, nil. Ayes, 236. Present and voting, as we had advised you earlier, the vote is overwhelmingly yes. So the nomination is herewith declared passed by the House, and the Speaker will transmit the results to the President, and the Speaker will also sign a Gazette notice to this effect, that the nominee for Deputy President has been duly voted by the House and approved. Approval is not applicable here. Has been voted by the House, and therefore will transmit to the appointing authority to proceed with the appointment. He is now Deputy President-elect. Members, having finished on the issue of the Deputy President-elect, it is now 1:54 p.m. and the House will adjourn until this afternoon at 2:30. Order. If you wanted to break now, the majority leader would have approached the chair.
You've been watching the proceedings in the National Assembly, where the House has voted for the nominee to fill the position of Deputy President, and that is Professor Kithure Kindiki. That message will be transmitted to the President, and the Speaker of the National Assembly will gazette the decision of the National Assembly this afternoon. As things stand, Professor Kithure Kindiki is the Deputy President.
Prof. Kithure Kindiki has just been approved by the National Assembly as the Deputy President. Prof. Kithure Kindiki has just been approved by the National Assembly as the Deputy President, awaiting swearing in any moment from now. The time is ticking. It appears 2:30 was a bit far, and so that process, considering it does, according to, of course, Moses Wetangula, who's the Speaker of the National Assembly, it does not require the public participation, and earlier on the queries by members of Parliament on whether this particular process would need the public to be engaged. But a ruling was made by the National Assembly Speaker, and interestingly, with all the members who are present during the voting, there is a total of 236 MPs have voted yes to approve the nomination of Professor Kithure Kindiki as the Deputy President. Things have been actually moving so fast. It's just this morning that Moses Wetangula unveiled the replacement of Rigathi Gachagua, who was ousted at around 11:30 last night, with 5 grounds that actually were approved out of the 11 that the National Assembly had presented before the Senate. And Rigathi Gachagua actually got ill, and while in hospital, the Senate approved the 5 charges against the 11 that had been presented there. And automatically, the Speaker of the Senate, that is Amason Kingi, gazetted the name of Rigathi Gachagua having been removed from office as the second Deputy President. In the morning, the special sitting today being on a Friday, the National Assembly Speaker announced Professor Kithure Kindiki, who served as the Interior Cabinet Secretary, to to have been nominated by President William Ruto to inherit or to replace Rigathi Gachagua as the Deputy President. And so already they have voted, 236 members have voted yes, just to, of course, approve the, nomination of Professor Kithure Kindiki as the Deputy President. And so any moment from now, we expect Professor Kithure Kindiki will be sworn in to officially take over the docket, being the 3rd Deputy President under the 2010 Constitution. Remember, the first Deputy President was the current serving President, that is William Ruto. Rigathi Gachagua only served for 2 years, and now Professor Kithure Kindiki, who will be sworn in any moment from now, and of course we'll be bringing you that or those live updates right here on K24. Breaking news: the National Assembly has approved the nomination of Professor Kithure Kindiki as the Deputy President. Any moment from now, he will be sworn in to officially take the mantle. And remember, his first assignment will be on Mashujaa Day, that is on Sunday at Kwale. This has, according to a section of members allied to Rigathi Gachagua, who is now the second Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, was a premeditated process. The fact that while the Senate was considering the removal from office of the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, already the special sitting had been convened today, and perhaps it could be the reason Rigathi Gachagua was not accorded time to defend himself. The request by his lawyer, Paul Mwite, that perhaps, they should adjourn, or they could have adjourned the sittings of the Senate to Tuesday next week, proved futile, because in what they believe this had already been planned, that by today, perhaps before the courts intervene and save Gachagua from being ousted, they would have already someone who will have replaced him in his capacity as the deputy president. And so the interior boss, Kithure Kindiki, who was once fired or actually dismissed during the maiden cabinet dismissal by President William Ruto, he was reappointed to the same position. And today he holds the office of the deputy president, awaiting swearing in any moment from now. According to Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, he is a president-elect. This is the first time in history, by the way, under the 2010 constitution that a deputy president has been ousted. Rigathi Gachagua still remains at the Karen hospital recuperating, according to his doctor Gikonyo. 72 hours is the time that he could be discharged from hospital. Already his security detail had been withdrawn, vacation from the office of the deputy president and the official residence of the deputy president having taken place. And so Kithure Kindiki will be occupying the official deputy president Karen residence and as well the Harambee Annex, that is the office of the deputy president. William Ruto now has a second in command, being deputized by Professor Kithure Kindiki. Their relationship dates actually back to many years ago when William Ruto was facing the ICC on crimes against humanity, among others. Professor Kithure Kindiki also served for 10 years as the Tharaka Nithi Senator, majority leader of that house, and as well, he served as the deputy speaker before being removed unceremoniously during the purge of Jubilee, what many will say rebels back then during the former President Uhuru Kenyatta's tenure. So, Professor Kindiki Kithure replaces Rigathi Gachagua. In studio, I'm joined by Morara Omoke, who is an advocate of the High Court, and as well Kimani Mwangi, a political analyst. Just to begin with you, Morara, this process seems to be, things are moving so fast. It's just in the morning that we saw the name of Professor Kithure Kindiki being unveiled. A few hours later already, we have them, or we have members of parliament, 236 of them having endorsed or voted in support of the nomination of Kithure Kindiki. He's now the deputy president-elect. There is a fundamental, point that you addressed earlier on that relates to the participation of the public. How come we have a deputy president-elect not elected by the people, but by members of parliament?
As I said earlier on, there is a supersonic rush to basically enhance the violations that we were talking about earlier on, that this process has not been undertaken in accordance with the Constitution. I think a few minutes ago, the court has given some directions. I'm yet to receive the full details, but the court has given some orders. We would like to see what the court has said about what is currently happening. We should be able to check that shortly. But the process, there's no process that should be undertaken in accordance with the Constitution without complying with the Article 10. And one of the things in Article 10 is public participation.
On public participation, the speaker actually talked about, that it does not require one, just comparing to the Yala members who will be voted without engaging the public. Will the office of the deputy president be equated to that of the Yala member of parliament?
I would say, I think the Speaker of the National Assembly has lost his mind, in my opinion, because while he's trying to assist, being a shareholder, as we were able to establish recently, that he's also a shareholder in the government, he's trying to protect his 30%, but I think he's really becoming, he might go down as the worst speaker in the history of our country, because he's not really following the Constitution. And being a lawyer, we expect him to do better than he is.
Kimani Mwangi, yes. Kithure Kindiki is now the deputy president-elect, waiting swearing in any moment from now.
So, the law is not clear because if you read Article 145, 7, if I'm not mistaken, it instructs the president to fill the vacancy within 14 days. Then once he does so, the name is to be forwarded to the National Assembly, which should vote on the name within 60 days. Then the law does not say what happens after that. As Wakili is saying, it is true that it is constitutional, Article 10, 2B, that all undertakings of the government should have participation of the people as a constitutional principle. 118 also, Article 118 is clear that, again, all undertakings of the parliament should be subjected to public participation. So whether they are doing these in a rush to beat any maneuvers by the deputy president former to get maybe
Professor
orders to stop the process,
is no stranger to the Kenyan.
We can only wait and see, because interestingly, these will form arguments in court of law tomorrow or the day thereafter, and the court will pronounce itself on who was wrong or right. If a wrong is committed, definitely the court will order that the wrong be corrected.
You know, Wakili, Prof. Kithure Kindiki at some point was dismissed by President William Ruto, you know, but reappointed again. That process, the fact that he could be fired and rehired, did it show that perhaps there's some things Kindiki missed to work on as supposed? Does it also more of show a similar, let's say for Rigathi Gachagua, who has been removed from office by impeachment, the fact that you are still dismissed as a cabinet secretary but reappointed again, did it show that President William Ruto had also lost confidence in him? All of a sudden he regained it, maybe for political reasons?
I think to me it would speak more to the character of the person who is behind the appointments and also the dismissals. So it says something about the person, either that the person is not competent or he lacks clarity of mind on what he really needs to do. That's what I would think of.
And now, having served as the interior boss, will that position remain vacant, or it's still possible to have a deputy president who is also an interior boss?
I don't think the issue of the vacancy is not a problem. I mean, the last time when the cabinet was dismissed, we had Musalam Davadi acting in all the ministries, so I think that that is not an issue. Maybe they would have some other cabinet secretary acting in acting capacity, pending the filling of that position.
And if at all then that position needs to be filled, will it be proper for President William Ruto to pick already an elected member? Because that will trigger a by-election. And for instance, for several members who are picked, there are no by-elections that have been conducted so far because of the reconstitution of the polls body IBC. So is it time that there is need to reconstitute the IBC so that we can have all these by-elections taking place?
Definitely, the IBC needs to be reconstituted. In terms of appointments, I think it's up to the president on who he appoints, whether it's someone who is elected or not.
Wakili, Kimani Mwangi, sorry. On how we should approach this now? On filling the position of the, you know, interior boss?
My take firstly is that now that Professor is very closely edging to become the Deputy President of the Republic after the fall of the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, the President is at liberty to choose whoever he wants to replace the Professor, because the Professor can no longer become a member of cabinet holding two positions, because the Deputy President is a member of the cabinet. Then you can't be a member of cabinet holding two state jobs, one being a CS and the other one being a Deputy President. Definitely, he would have to be replaced. If the President feels that the best person suited to hold the docket is in the National Assembly or even in the Senate and wishes to appoint them, then they would have to resign from being members of National Assembly or the Senate for them to take up the job as a CS, because again the law demands that you cannot hold two dockets at the same time. But what is important is that the President must now make haste to have the IBC reconstituted, so that for those positions that are even vacant, and if he creates one more, they can be filled up quickly and the people be represented as they should be.
Allow me to cross over live to Mombasa County, where we're joined by very own Fred Kai with reactions of Kenyans. Fred Kai, what are the residents of Mombasa saying as far as Kithure Kindiki's nomination and appointment is concerned?
Church here in Mombasa is a mixed reaction, whereby some of the residents are saying that Kindiki, indeed, he was the one who was supposed to be the deputy president, unlike Rigathi Gachagua. But they think that now that the parliament has voted in Kithure Kindiki, he supposed to do his work and well, and also to try to accommodate each and every community in this country. Hereby we are going to join by the resident of Mombasa to just get their views about this issue, and also to just say maybe who will be the next interior CS. Pengine kakangu, kama utaweza kusonga karibu na mimi hapa. Jina lako, wetu nani, unatuambia tufika mchakato mzima tumeweza kuona bunge likiweza kujadili na kuweza kumuidhinisha rasmi Kithure Kindiki ambaye ni waziri wa usalama wa ndani. Pengine kama Mkenya, maoni yako ni gani kuhusu hili?
Mimi kwa majina yangu ninaitwa Omari Mohamed Jiri, mkaji wa Mombasa, na uamuzi kwa president si mbaya, kwa sababu sisi tunataka mtu ambaye atajali maslahi ya Wakenya wote na kushughulikia hii nchi yetu ya Kenya.
Asante sana. Kwa sasa tunaweza kurejesha tena studioni kutokana kuna press briefing iliweza kuendelea kule, alafu baadaye tutaweza kurudi tena hapa kaunti ya Mombasa tuweze kujiunga tu na wakazi wa Mombasa, tuweze kusikia tu sehemu zao ni zipi kutokana basi na haya ambayo yanaweza kujiri hivi katika bunge la kitaifa. Kwako Chacha.
And news just in. The High Court of Kenya, that is the Milimani local citation, Rigathi Gachagua versus State Law Office and Senate and 3 others where that this matter coming up for directions on the notice of motion and petition, both dated 18th October 2024 before Honorable Justice Chacha Mwita, and upon considering the pleadings supporting affidavits and attachment, he satisfied that the petition and application raised monumental constitutional issues touching not only at the heart of a functioning constitution, but also fundamental tenets of the rule of law and human rights. And so that the pleadings be served immediately and be responded to within 3 days after service. But the main point is that in the meantime, due to the issues raised in the petition and application and the agency demonstrated, a conservatory order has been issued staying implementation of the resolution by the Senate upholding the impeachment charges against the petitioner, that is the Deputy President of Kenya, including appointment and replacement until 24th of October. In fact, today it is the 18th of October. So until the 24th of October, when the matter will be mentioned before the bench to be appointed by Chief Justice for appropriate orders and action, this is actually an interesting one. A conservatory order has been issued, once again, just to reiterate, against the petitioner, that is the Deputy President of Kenya, including appointment and replacement. So Kithure Kindiki's appointment, Wakili, just maybe you could elaborate what this means. Does it mean now Kithure Kindiki, despite already having been nominated and appointed or approved by the National Assembly, cannot take over office or be sworn in?
Yeah, the order is, in simple terms, the conservatory order states the implementation of the decision of the Senate. That means everything that came after the Senate took a vote and declared that the Deputy President had ceased to hold office. So that means the communication to the President, the communication from the President to the National Assembly, the vote which has just been taken at a supersonic speed by the National Assembly, and the plan, apparently there was a planned swearing in, and all these things have to be stopped. And even if they were to take place, they would amount to nothing. That's the meaning.
Until 24th, considers on 18th.
Yes, until 24th.
So everything that was planned, including swearing in, cannot take place. Because 24th is next week on Thursday.
It cannot take place until, as I said, you know, there are many cases that have been filed. I think as of this morning we had about 30, and by the end of the day we should have another 5 to 10 cases. All those cases are extremely serious. I don't think that we have had an issue that has attracted that kind of litigation before, other than for the BBI, if you remember, which did not have actually as many petitions as this. So this kind of cases being as that number, then the courts have to be given an opportunity to arbitrate and hear the complaints that are being raised before anything can happen.
Wakili, has this not been overtaken by events? Understanding already there is a nomination that has taken place and approval of the deputy president.
That's why when you read the order, let's read the second last order, which says, actually the last one, that in the meantime, due to the issues raised in the petition and the application and the urgency demonstrated, a conservative order is hereby issued, staying implementation of the resolution of the Senate, upholding the impeachment charges against the petitioner, including appointment of his replacement. So it means that everything that will take place, as I said, from the point the Senate passed its resolution yesterday, cannot continue, and even if it was to continue, then it would be a nullity. That's what it means.
If I told the Chief Justice already at State House preparing to swear in Kithure Kindiki as the new Deputy President, and they have not yet been served with this court order, they've just seen it on our platform.
No, they should
Would they still translate that, you know, they've been barred from swearing in Kithure Kindiki?
They should be aware of the order, because if you read the second order given there is that this is being forwarded to the CJ for immediate action. So it means that as we speak now, the Chief Justice ought to have this order with her.
How is this having done?
It's electronic. I mean, as we say, this was just downloadable from the e-filing system. So when you get it on the e-filing system, it's also automatically transmitted to the Office of the Chief Justice.
I'm imagining
it's not the paper. You know, we moved away from the paper transactions that we had previously.
I'm imagining a situation where they would say they've already sworn in the Deputy President, only that the media was not there.
No, they cannot do that. I mean, you know that.
Does the Constitution require us, you know, as the media, to be present while swearing in the Deputy President?
The Constitution requires, when it comes to the presidency, we should actually have a proper swearing in, a public function. But if it's being done in secrecy, then that would not be in line with the Constitution.
Kimani Mwangi, on the courts now having come to the rescue of Gachagua. Wakili, before getting to Kimani Mwangi, so Rigathi Gachagua remains as the Deputy President?
That means when you say stay, or the resolution has been stayed through a conservatory order, it means we go back to where we were prior to the voting by the Senate.
So the man sleeping at
he's
the
still the Deputy
hospital,
President. They may call him former, but legally speaking, he has to continue occupying office until and unless the impeachment is confirmed.
So it's still also not clear that come 24th, still Professor Kithure Kindiki can be the, until the bench is constituted and makes new orders. It's when now it will be clear whether Rigathi Gachagua will be ousted or Kithure Kindiki will have taken over.
Ordinarily, what happens is that when this kind of an order is given from a particular date, now from today until 24th of October, is that when we appear before court on that day, then the courts are expected to extend those orders until further action again from the court.
Just to reiterate this breaking news, the High Court has issued temporary orders stopping the replacement of Rigathi Gachagua as the Deputy President until October 24th. That is next week on Thursday, when the matter will be mentioned before the bench to be appointed by the Chief Justice Martha Koome for appropriate orders and action. Justice Chashamwita has actually further certified the petition by Gachagua as raising substantial questions of law and public interest, and said the file should be taken to the Chief Justice Martha Koome for appointment of a bench to determine the issues. Kimani Mwangi, is this finally what the Deputy President had, perhaps foreseen? And it's a welcome and a good news. And where does it place the whole National Assembly? 236 members that were really ready to see Gachagua ousted. Politically, how is this? Because now there is no political goodwill, but legally, he's the Deputy President. Mashujade is coming. Does it mean they will share the same podium with President William Ruto?
I'm not a lawyer, but I also know that you cannot apply a law retrogressively or retrospectively. Now, by the time the order came, Kenya had another deputy president-elect whose process was legal so far, because the president was within his timelines, the National Assembly was within its timelines, and I see a situation where the National Assembly or somebody else will be seeking order to stay this one again, because by the time it came out...
Is that possible, Akili? That someone else can challenge what Justice Chachamuita has...
Because by the time this order came,
orders, because it's from
there was a deputy president-elect of the Republic, having gone through the process of appointment by the president and having been voted for by the National Assembly.
Are we at crossroads?
I don't think it has been gazetted, because the order came in as the speaker was also making his declaration. So I think that the speaker has not already gazetted. So I think my colleague
could have gazetted. Could have gazetted.
Whether gazetted, the order simply says the resolution of the Senate is stayed. That's what it means. It doesn't matter what you do thereafter. It is stayed.
But staying a process that has already taken place.
This process, you know, is a continuous.
The swearing in had not taken place.
Yes, so exactly that's what I'm saying.
So
that it is just a collection of activities. It's a collection of activities. Some of them have taken place, but the idea is it has gone to the root of the decision that the resolution is what has been stayed.
Yes.
So whatever number of activities you do, still it has to await consideration by the court.
So the Chief Justice cannot swear in.
She should not. It would be serious malpractice on her part. I don't think she could do that. She's aware of this order.
And there's also another issue here of the empanelment of a bench. How many benches are we going to have? Because already there is an existing one.
Yes.
So on that one, what is likely to happen is that, okay, first of all, remember this is a process that takes place under Article 165 of the Constitution. When an issue is certified as raising a substantial question of law, it means that this is a kind of a question the Chief Justice is required to appoint a bench. So the process administratively is that the court which has been seized of the matter in the first instance would then, upon making the certification, forward the file to the Chief Justice. So where there's already a bench hearings, cases related to that one, what should happen is that ideally is that all these cases then should be forwarded to that one bench, and then the bench would then consolidate all those cases and hear them as one case. Alternatively, they can hear them as together without consolidating and reach one decision. Lastly, the other thing that ought to happen is that the Chief Justice may consider, upon realizing that these cases are quite so many, may actually expand the membership of the bench from 3 to 5 to 7.
You know, interestingly, you are an advocate of the High Court, so that is what you believe is there legally.
That's the procedure.
And you are a political analyst. Yeah. So here we are at a quagmire, at crossroads.
No, the good thing about
Sunday,
law,
you know, I'm just curious to know, how will President William
Ruto Wakili is very right.
this? Because come Sunday, yes. Mashujade is there.
Yes.
Usually the Deputy President and the President will share the same podium.
Yes.
So who goes to Mashujade as the Deputy President?
No, what I would expect to happen, personally, is that maybe for amusement or for whatever reason, somebody will go to court to have interpretation done. What happens to this process that I already started? But again, with this order, I would have expected, I don't know whether it is true, that the orders could only come from the bench that already is hearing this matter, because it did the consolidation of all the 24 prayers into one. But then there is a judge outside the bench who's given the orders. Now, if it was me, I would still have gone back to another judge to know whether we could, what happens to this process that had already started and was almost coming to a halt, having gone through the critical process. Is it possible that we can halt this one and continue? Because it is all about seeking interpretations. But as Wakili says, I do not see a situation where the Chief Justice can swear in the Deputy President-elect with the new happenings.
Wakili, because this one maybe is it now on a specific case, or all the cases regarding or touching on Rigathi Gachagua, which are more than 22, if at all Rigathi Gachagua then will be granted this particular opportunity to still remain in office as the Deputy President, how long will such cases take? Are there timelines that they should be completed or determined by this specific timeline?
So this kind of a case, first of all, the particular on through which these court orders have been issued was filed today. by the Deputy President himself. So what happens administratively, just in answer to the issue that my colleague just talked about, is that once a case is filed in any court under what you call a certificate of urgency, because of the nature, the emergency situation being faced by the person who has come before the court, is that that kind of a case is then taken to what you call the duty judge or the duty magistrate. So in this case, it went to a judge called Justice Chacha Mwita, who is on duty this week. That's why you see all the cases that were happening this week were going before him. So before he would say this case should go to the bench, and he can't send it directly to the bench because administratively, any file that is filed and is found to be of a substantial question of law must go through the Chief Justice, then to the bench. So then what he has done is, upon giving the orders to conserve the situation, then he has forwarded the file to the Chief Justice, which is the proper procedure. So there's nothing there's no impropriety under the part of the judge. It's just simply administrative. In terms of this order, then this order would apply to all the cases that have been filed already. As you know, one of the cases I had in Eldoret was raising the same issue, but it was sent to the Chief Justice yesterday. Still, it was waiting direction. So once this kind of an order is made, then it would bind all other petitions that are before the court.
So already the security detail of the Deputy President had been withdrawn. Perhaps already he had been vacated from the current residence and the office. So should the state again give back the security?
He has a right. He has a right once discharged from the hospital to drive back to the current residence and to attend the event, which is on Sunday. He should be able to attend the event. He has a right to attend as the Deputy President of the Republic.
Wow, interesting. But just to give you a relief from these hard political matters, we cross over to our very own Busara Naman at the Boma International Hospitality College, where the African cuisine competition has just, actually has been held, and today is the last day with the competitors awaiting their accolades. Busara Naman, what's the latest, just to give us a break from the hard political talk?
Ya Boma International Hospitality College, na bila shaka hapa ni mashindano ambayo yamemaliza wiki nzima. Kumbuka kwamba yalianza siku ya Jumatatu, basi Jumanne kukawa na masuala tofauti ya mashindano, Jumatano vivyo hivyo, hapo jana Alhamisi vivyo hivyo, na leo basi ni siku ya kujua mbivu na mbichi, manake washindi watakuwa wanatangazwa. Kwa hivyo nitakuwa moja nazungumza na wanafunzi niweze kujua wanajihisi vipi, ikiwa leo ni siku ya mwisho ya kujua mbivu na mbichi, na wajue hatima yao, kama je zawadi wataipata ama itabidi wajaribu tena wakati mwingine. Kwa hivyo moja hata nianze kuzungumza na mwanafunzi kutoka chuo cha Kenya Tasio, na bila shaka ako katika upande wa jikoni. Moja kwa moja anza kujitambulisha jina lako, alafu tuambie leo umepika nini ikiwa ni siku ya mwisho.
Kwa majina ni Stacy Nyambura. I study in Kenyatta University. I've been competing in the culinary sector. Actually today we didn't compete, but